The rookies for Madden 26 have finally been revealed, maybe a day late, but they are here, and with that, we are going to be looking at the top 10 most overpowered rookies to trade for in your Madden 26 franchise. Now, a lot of these guys are going to be very hard to trade for. We don't know a confirmed dev for all these guys, but we're going to go through them and we're going to guess while we're showing you these players. Of course, when the game actually releases, we'll likely do a video to show you every single dev for anyone that isn't, of course, normal development trade. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new so you can see that video when it does drop. We'll probably have another ratings video a little later today, if not tomorrow, and then another one sometime later in the week with a rebuild tomorrow. So a lot of content as always, so be on the lookout for that. And again, if you're new, maybe subscribe, hit the bell notification, whatever. But without further ado, let's get into our number 10 most overpowered rookie of Madden 26. And with that, it is going to be Jalen Milroe. I know you're looking at 65 overall and saying, well, I'm clicking off the video. This guy's a moron. But look a little closer. I think we all know that Jalen Milroe is an athlete, right? 93 speed, 93 excel. That alone, no matter what his passing ratings are, is good enough to make the list at number 10 minimum. But then you look at the passing ratings, you're like, whoa, wait, hold on. 92 throw power, that's actually really good. And the other accuracies, they're all in the 70s, all in the high 70s for the most part. You know, throw mid, 73 is your lowest, but short, 76, 78 for deep, 77 throw on the run, 79 play action, under pressure's all right at 78. Really, the big concern with him would be what is his pressure rating going to be for throwing the ball. Of course, other than that, I mean, he looks amazing, so this is going to be your number 10 guy, and a guy that I think a lot of people are going to be trying to trade for, especially considering how low of an overall he is, to be their franchise quarterback. Now at number 9, we jump up in overall with Jeromepkr, the 6'4", not super fast, but sure-handed as can be wide receiver. Yes, 89 speed, 91 excel is not traditionally a guy that we put on these lists, but when you have every single receiver rating outside of medium and deep, which is still really high, in the 80s and very high 80s at that. Look at the catching, 85 plus for all catching styles. You're going to make the list. I know it's a little lower at 7 or at 9. I was about to say 79, but that's not even his overall. But he is still obviously a very, very good player. A little bit of juke ability at 77. Trucking, not really so much. Stiff arm, not so much. A little bit of throwing ratings. I don't really know if you're going to do anything with the gadget roll with him, but obviously as far as like jump ball goes, possession goes, he should catch pretty much everything, and, shortly in, he's probably going to be able to get to 90 for most of these ratings. Now, I will say we didn't really talk about the devs. Milroe, likely normal dev. McMillan, likely star dev. Also, of course, a lot of you guys love these ratings as well. Let me know if there's someone that you've seen that I kind of missed out. Maybe not so much on this one, because I think it's pretty obvious. Like, Jalen Walker's not going to be on this list, but he's a very good player. Same with Shamar Stewart. There's a lot of players that are going to be good, but aren't on our list. So let me know who you think should have been instead, or the list itself. Maybe you think all 10 players make sense, but mix the order up. Of course, when we do our sleeper video, there's probably going to be a lot more kind of nuance to that, where, oh, I should have had this guy or that guy or this guy. Then for number 8, we go to the defensive side of the ball. Nick Emanwari, 6'3", 220-pound safety with 93 speed, 93 excel. I think that's very self-explanatory. The big thing with him is his catching is great. 74 catching, which is something that you can't really develop, whereas you obviously see the man in zone isn't the best. Even the block shed, not the best. But those ratings you can consistently upgrade, right? You could focus. If hybrid's still as good as it was last year, hybrid will get you that man in zone coverage up in a jiffy. I can't believe I just said jiffy. Hit power at 82, press at 74. So, I mean, once those coverage ratings go up, maybe you just don't use him as that box safety. You ignore block shed. He's just a super speedy coverage guy for you. Change direction 81's a little, concerning, but safeties traditionally don't have the greatest change direction. Obviously, really good jumping. So, long story short, it's going to be hard to get something past him or above him if you're actually trying to jump ball. He is a really solid-looking safety. This is a guy that you would assume is also star development trait, so definitely going to be a guy that develops very quickly. This is a guy I think you could definitely get. Like, Milroe and Nick Emanwari should be really easy players to trade for. Jeromepkr, maybe a little bit tougher. And our number 7 is probably going to shock you. We're going to have Ashton Jeanty all the way down at 7. And the reason why isn't because he's not a good player. Obviously, these ratings are insane, but because running back is truly a dime a dozen. I would argue maybe Toon might be a better player. He's 95 speed, and we all know that the offensive line is pretty much the most important thing. I know in College Football 26 right now, the stiff arm is insane. I don't know if they toned that down or not or tuned it, but if that's not going to be the case in Madden, which typically it's not always the case, I will say he is going to be at least a superstar, maybe even an X Factor, probably will be X Factor. That will play a factor into how overpowered he is, but at the same time, I've had success with faster running backs than slower running backs anyways. 90 speed, 92 excel is good, but I would argue Teuton's better just because of that speed, and speed really does matter that much in these games. It's crazy, but it's true. Blocking is more important, so while Ashton Jeanty is absolutely insane here, based on the game itself and what is important, I would say that, you know, Jeanty at 7's fine. I think there's better players higher that are going to have a bigger impact than Ashton Jeanty will in the game of Madden. Not a hater. Think Ashton Jeanty is going to be insane, but in the game of Madden, he's going to be sitting at 7 with that insane overall. And then at number 6, we have Jihad Campbell, 6'3", 235 pounds, 89 speed, 91 excel. Those are great ratings. The big thing that puts him on this list is 81 change direction. This is not a rating you're going to see from someone this fast and this big often in CPU drafts. So this is a guy that's going to be very hard to replicate, right? Great tackling, solid block shed, solid coverage. I mean, he's got better block shed in coverage than freaking Nick Emanwari. I don't know who Neek is, but pursuit's insane, play rec's decent. Of course, has some hit power at 84. And a lot of the guys here that we're looking at are also very young. You know, we don't have any of the 23, 24-year-old rookies, which is nice. We'll say, probably in the sleeper list, we will see a little bit more of that. Catching at 66 is fine. Jumping at 85 is fine. Injury, stamina, toughness is fine. He's just a really, really good user. Maybe the best in this class. As a lot of times you do see those like sleeper speeders, but I don't think anyone's going to compare to Jihad Campbell, which just proves how much of an overpowered rookie he is. Now at number 5, it's probably going to be the last player that is going to even sort of surprise you. And that's Maxwell Harrison, 6 foot tall, 96 speed, 93 excel, amazing change of direction, jumping's good. A big thing with him is that he also has really good coverage ratings. A lot of these guys that are insanely speedy at cornerback, they just have something missing in coverage. Not Maxwell Harrison. 78 man, 77 zone. Good press, good pursuit, very good catching. A little bit of jukeability, and then, of course, just absolutely blazing speed. Speed, again, king in pretty much every facet, other than maybe pass rush in the game. And cornerback is definitely one of those positions where speed really does shine. Wide receiver corner is maybe the most important for speed. Linebacker up there a little bit too, but going to be very hard to pass the ball against Maxwell Harrison. This is going to be a guy that I think is going to become one of the best Madden players there is, just with how young he is, so he'll develop well, and then, of course, with that speed, it's going to be very hard to get anything past him. He's a very good corner. Number 5 for our overpowered rookies. I would love to see where he ranks in general at corner. As like I said, speed really is king. I'd say he's probably in the top 30, even as a 78 overall. Now for our number 4, we're going to have an offensive lineman, Will Campbell. Of course, a very athletic, decent strength, and amazing blocking rating lineman. Now, it's not just the base ratings we can see here that is making this decision for me here all the way at number 4. It's the idea that I would assume he'll be superstar dev. So if you have all of these ratings, and you have Superstar Dev, which we know is very hard to actually try and develop, it's going to be a very, very good time with Will Campbell. Sus, I don't know what that's all about. As your offensive lineman, of course, you can't really draft consistently Superstar Dev. And again, we talked about you can't develop linemen into superstars super easily. So having Will Campbell anchor that offensive line with Superstar Dev, potentially get some of those insane abilities that make it virtually impossible to actually win the rep. With these base ratings, I mean, he's going to develop so quickly. His only blocking rating that isn't 80 plus is run block power, and it's 79. Everything else, I mean, 85 pass block finesse, 85 lead block, 85 impact block, 83 base. I still don't know what the hell these do, by the way. Do we even know what base, run block, and pass block do? I don't honestly think we do. I really don't. I think it's really just power and finesse that matters. And of course, for Will Campbell, he's got both of them. Now for number 3, someone that really surprised me with their ratings is Mason Graham. Everyone else, I kind of expected them to be where they're at. No one really shocked me. You know, maybe a couple overalls higher than I would have thought, like Maxwell Harrison, I thought was maybe a 76. But Mason Graham is an 80 overall. I mean, he is genuinely insane, and he is at number 3 for us. 78 speed, 86 excel, 90 strength, with 79 power move, 85 block shed. This is one of the greatest rookie defensive tackles we've seen, maybe even the greatest we've seen in Madden history. And Mason Graham is a very good player, but I don't even think Jalen Carter was even close to this good, right? I think Jalen Carter was lower than this, which is ridiculous how good Mason Graham is in the game. I mean, we could have easily made him number 1, and I don't think anyone would have batted an eye. This is a ridiculous starting card for Mr. Mason Graham. 80 overall. Again, I did not expect that. I thought 76, 77. I really did not think even close to 80. But obviously, because of that, he is on our list here. He is insane in the top 3. And then here at number 2, basically confirming number 1, is Abdul Carter. This was a tough one for me. I actually wanted to put Mason Graham at the number 1 spot. But if finesse is as good as it was last year, especially at the DT position, I think because Mason Graham's a power guy, not a finesse guy, it knocks him down a peg for me. Abdul Carter, of course, is a dual style guy. 79 power move, 83 finesse, 79 block shed, great pursuit, great play rec, tackling's good. Of course, his athleticism is insane. 88 speed, 91 excel at 6'4". He's just the prototypical edge. 81 overall. We didn't actually talk about the last couple of guys, but Mason Graham with 80 overall, I would actually think superstar, right? I mean, he should have probably been star dev, but as an 80 overall, it's kind of hard not to be a superstar. Of course, Abdul Carter is almost guaranteed to be superstar dev minimum, so that's going to play a little bit of a factor as well. But 88 speed, 91 excel, 21 years old. He's going to be one of those guys that you're going to see at the top of the sack list every single Madden franchise you do very quickly on, because just how they call him a smaller speed rusher. Really? I don't get the whole like undersized at 6'4". I don't know what his arm length is, to be fair, but it's crazy. Like that's almost prototypical, no? That is like the guy. But either way, Abdul Carter's number 2, which obviously confirms number 1. You would, of course, be a crazy person not to put Travis Hunter at number 1. It's not even just the fact that he's an 84 overall. He's the highest overall rookie in the game. I can't imagine he'd be anything but X Factor. But obviously the fact that he can play both sides. You can play him anywhere you want. I'm not exactly sure how that works in the game. They did talk about how Travis Hunter made them have to have a unique approach. So I think they will allow you to play him at both positions. But whether they do or not, put him at wide receiver, it doesn't matter, right? 85 catching, 86 spec, 82 catch and traffic, 84 short, 82 medium, 83 deep, 80 release. He's the best corner of the rookies, best wide receiver of the rookies, and he is ridiculous. 93 speed, 94 excel, 6'1", 188. Feel like they're maybe being a little generous there, to be honest, but insane coverage ratings. Even has a little bit of hip power. 68 tackling as an undersized guy. I mean, this is one of the best rookies we've ever seen in Madden history. And I know there's other guys, because of the speed, which is, again, king, that are better. But as far as like what he can do and that overall that goes with it, obviously one of the best rookies we've ever seen in the game. And thus, rightfully so, sits at the number 1 spot on our top 10 most overpowered rookies to trade for in Madden 26. Is there a player that really shocked you? Again, Mason Graham just surprised me. 80 overall, I was not expecting. I expected 76, maybe 77. Insane. Genty doesn't surprise me. 83 overall. Maybe he surprised you that he was that low on our list. Again, it's the position, not the player. Let me know what you guys think. Am I wrong? Is a guy like Ashton Genty, in your opinion, going to be so good that they should be in the top 3 of this list? I think what we did, makes a lot of sense. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. What kind of devs you think some of these guys might be. And again, if you looked at the ratings yourself and think someone else should have been on this list instead of these guys, let me know. Of course, a little spoiler, Dante Thornton will be on our top 10 sleeper list, obviously. It's going to be hard to make that list because a lot of the guys, people are getting more and more in tune with the draft. So is there really a sleeper? Like, no one's really going to call Milroe a sleeper, but I think he's going to have to make the list because he's a 65 overall, right? So I'm not sure. I think we're just going to call under 70 overall sleeper. I think that's fair, and we'll just call it that, to be honest. So be on the lookout for that top 10 sleepers to trade for video, probably later today, and then we'll have some other videos later on in the week. So yeah, happy hump day, and Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, appreciate your continued support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. And that is it. Hopefully come back for next video. And until next video,